Hello children, welcome to 7th Science online classes. Chapter 5 Acids, Bases and Salts. Acids are sour in taste and the substance contain acid. We can call it as acidic substance. And bases are bitter taste and soapy in touch. And the substance which contain a base, we can call it as basic substance. And substances which are neither acidic nor basic, they are called neutral substances. And acids and bases, or acidity or basicity, we are tested by some substances. They are called indicators, and this lesson we studied more about indicators. And what are salts? Acids and bases react together, so we will get the substance called salt. So these are the things we studied in this lesson. And today the last part, that is what is the role of neutralization. Neutralization means acids and bases react. That process is called neutralization. So what is the role of neutralization in everyday life? Neutralization in everyday life. So before going to that one, first we just revise what is neutralization. Neutralization, the reaction between an acid and a base, that is called neutralization. And salt and water are produced. The products are salt and water, and heat also produced. So when we add salt and acid and base in a test tube, and we just touch the sides of the test tube, we can feel the hotness. Okay, so when the acid and base react together, both the acidic nature of the acid and the basic nature of the base are destroyed. The resulting solution is neither acidic nor basic. Okay, so that both effect cancelled with each other. So that process is called neutralization. And what is the role of neutralization in everyday life? First we see indigestion. So digestion we studied. Okay, what digestion means, the consumed food that break and that bodies absorb. That process is called digestion. But that is opposite, that is indigestion. That food particles are not digested properly. So we will see. We know that our stomach produces hydrochloric acid, which helps in the digestion of food. So this thing we already studied in our one lesson. Yes, hydrochloric acid in stomach. So this hydrochloric acid helps in the digestion of food. But sometimes the stomach releases too much of acid, which leads to indigestion or sometimes hyperacidity or more acidity. So in sometimes what is the role of hydrochloric acid? Hydrochloric acid helps for the digestion. So sometimes we eat more or the things are not digested properly. So that time stomach produce more hydrochloric acid to digest the food. So that time our stomach contain more acid. So because of that hyperacidity, we can create indigestion or the stomach pain. Okay, so in the picture also you can see that. See here, the acid is more. So that time we feel that much irritation and stomach pain. Hence we need to neutralize this acid by taking substances that are basic in nature, commonly known as antacids. See, so it's very, very important. Okay, it's very important. So the problem is acidity in our stomach. So because our stomach produce more hydrochloric acid, so our stomach contain more acid, and we feel indigestion or stomach pain. So for solve that problem, we have to neutralize that acid. So how we can neutralize? By adding some base. So when we add some base into that acid, that two of that is cancelled with each other, and that acidity is less. Okay, so for that we consume antacids. Antacids means that medicine contain base. So here you can see some pictures also. These all medicines act as antacids. So water antacids. In the time of indigestion, we need to neutralize the acid by taking substances that are basic in nature, that are called antacids. So antacids contain base. For example, milk of magnesia is a basic substance that can neutralize the acid of the stomach. So milk of magnesia is one medicine that we consume to neutralize the acid. So you have to use this word, neutralize. Okay, so when such questions will come, water and acid, or what is the role of milk of magnesia, such questions will come, you have to use this term, neutralize. So antacids contain bases, and that base neutralize that acid in our stomach. So that is the neutralization in everyday life. The first one is indigestion. Second, ant bite. In this picture also, you can see that ant bite. Okay, here. So when an ant bites you, you feel the some such irritations. Okay, irritation and itching also you feel. And why this is happened? This is happened because when ant bites, it injects some acid. What is that acid's name? Formic acid. It injects some formic acid to our body. So that formic acid that irritates our body. Okay. So the irritation of the skin due to ant bite is caused because of the presence of formic acid that the ant injects into the skin while biting. So when it bites, it injects formic acid, and that is the reason of the irritation. Hence, we use a basic substance to neutralize the effect. So acid is there. So to solve the problem, we have to add some base for neutralization. So we use basic substance to neutralize the effect. For example, baking soda. Baking soda, its chemical name is hydrogen carbonate. Calamine solution, a pink color solution you can buy from the medical shop, calamine solution, and that contain zinc carbonate. They are generally used to treat ant bites. So when an ant bite, you can take some baking soda or calamine solution and apply there. Okay, that irritation is not there. Okay, because that contain this calamine solution or baking soda solution contain about base. Okay, so that base neutralize the formic acid that injects by this ant. Got it, children? The third uh, neutralization effect in everyday life, that is soil treatment. Plants need a soil which is neutral in nature, but using chemical fertilizers on soil can turn it into acidic. So plants actually need neutral soil, that soil not more in acid or acidic or not basic. So that kind of soil uh, is it apt for plants growth. But in Kerala, especially in Kerala, the soil in every way that is a little bit acidic in nature. So that acidicity we can control by using some basic substances. By adding some basic substances, we can neutralize that acidity. And some fertilizers, when we give some fertilizers also for the growth of the plant, but that fertilizers also contain more acid. So that acid also mixed with the soil, and that is the reason for the increase of acidity in the soil. Got it, children? So I'm reading this sentence one more time. Plants need a soil which is neutral in nature, but using chemical fertilizers on soil can turn it into acidic. So what we will do to neutralize the acid, we have to give some base also. Yes. To treat acidic soil, we use bases like quicklime, or its chemical name is calcium oxide, or slaked lime. It is called calcium hydroxide. So any this kind of bases you can put into the soil. See in the picture. See that white powder that put into the soil, we can control the acidity of the soil. Okay. So this treatment, you just ask your parents, they can give more. Sometimes your house also, in your house also, they are using for the treatment of the soil, they are putting the bases like quicklime or slaked lime in the soil. Okay, children. And basic soil can be treated by adding organic substances or compost to it as they release acids while decomposing into the soil. And in some time, so we studied that plants need neutral soil, but in some cases, the soil contains more base. So if it is more base, for controlling the more base, we have to put the acid. So for giving acids, we can give compost. See, this is the compost, and the compost contains acid. Okay, that is the acidic substance. Compost is an acidic substance. So when we mix this compost into the basic soil, it will neutralize and we get a neutral soil, and that is best for the plant growth. The fourth one is factory waste. The waste of many factories contain acids. Okay, we studied acid rain also. Acid rain because from the factory, some many pollutants they expel out in the air, or many pollutants come into the water also. Okay, so that full waste contain acids. If they are allowed to flow into water bodies, the acids will kill fish and other organisms. So this waste contain acid, and this that acid water fall into the river or any other water bodies. It kill the aquatic animals or plants. The factory waste are therefore neutralized by adding basic substances. So from the factory itself, before they pass this acidic water into the to the water bodies, they treat that water with base. So it is neutral, and the neutral water come to the water bodies. Nothing will happen to the aquatic organisms. Okay, children. So these four are uh, the help of or the role of neutralization in everyday life. Many other uses also there. For you, you have to study only these four things. So our chapter is also over. So this chapter is a little bit lengthy chapter, and you have to study more, because first you have to study what is the difference of acid and base, and how we can test this acid and base by using indicators. And we studied various indicators, and you have to study or you have to learn the color change of each indicator in acidic or basic medium. And we studied another important process, that is neutralization, and the effects or the uses of neutralization in everyday life. Okay, so all of you read the textbook very well, and watch these all videos once again. Okay, so when you start to study this lesson, first you watch the first video and read that part. and study the notes also. And the second, watch the second video and read the textbook that much and study the notebook. Okay, children, so the same way you can complete that chapter. And I will take one test also soon. So all of you prepare for that. I'm not saying the date now, but all of you prepare. Okay, children. Okay, thank you. All the best.